Okay, all right, here we go.
Oh, yeah.
What is up, guys, and welcome to another episode of the Dad's Life Podcast. I'm your host, Sean Flac 2.0, and here in the studio via satellite, I have I guess I was going to say four, but the three other amazing gentlemen of the podcast. We'll go ahead and get started with introductions. Upstairs, right above me, we got Mr. Krinlee. What up, Mr. Krinlee?
What's up? How's everybody doing tonight?
Good. We got a category to me. It's weird how these things get laid out. But we got Njord God over here in the diagonal corner.
What's going on, party people?
And we also got Sensei Jon over here too. I guess this would be my left, his right.
Hey, what up, y'all? We are the Fantastic Four. Let's get it right, Sean.
Oh, my bad. My bad. The Fantastic Four. I'm going to come up with something that's... Anyway, we'll talk about that offline. Anyway, welcome. This is actually season 5. Welcome to season 5 of the Dad's Life Podcast. We're going to be starting it. But this is technically like our second season together, which I'm super excited about. If you guys haven't heard, let's see, episode 10 of season 4 was a recap. Go ahead and check that out from last week. We're going to be doing our little change up this week, or this season going forward. We're actually going to do it on our Patreon recording after the show. We don't know what it's going to be called yet, but again, thank you for all those patrons for supporting us last season. You're going to be looking out for a little bit different content this season. If you don't know what we're talking about, go ahead and head over to shadowpackwest.com, and there's a link right there at the top. As soon as you get onto the page to go to our Patreon page, and you can start your patronage for as little as $1 a month. And that'll get you access to a little bit more content from us and kind of seeing, the first season was about what's behind the scenes. So thank you for your current patrons. And again, if you are interested in becoming a patron and helping us continue the show, head over there and start your patronage today. Before we get started, we are going to be talking about fathers that... father figures that aren't our actual fathers. So that'll be the main topic for today. And then we'll kind of hot dog around. It's the first episode of the new season, and we'll see where the conversation takes us. Before we get started, does anybody have any shout-outs they might want to shout out?
Well, it's always shout out to my Lord and Savior, the man above, our God. Thank you for making this possible. Waking us up this morning and being able to be on this lovely podcast that our brother Sean has so lovely blessed us with.
Okay, thank you, appreciate you. Krinlee, anything you want to shout out before we get started?
The only thing I really got is Njord God and his family with their trials and tribulations they're going through. Shout out to them. Staying strong.
Thank you.
Okay. Njord God, what you got for us? Any shout outs you want?
I'm shouting out baby Freya, my daughter, because today, the first time in God knows how long, maybe ever, it was all about me today.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
So the wife went with my mom, my sister, my stepdad, and the baby to Memphis. Because it was my sister's birthday this last week, so that's what she wanted to go out there, go to Cheesecake Factory, and go around to the mall. Well, my mom sent me an audio recording on the trip back of my daughter just crying, "Daddy, Daddy," and how everybody was just kind of ignoring her because she was being annoying.
But you gotta love that.
Oh, dude, I did love that. So I FaceTimed her, right, and then we were sitting in here, right, during baby put down time, and normally our routine is Mama does her like goodnight routine and I'm right behind her to do my goodnight routine, but Saturday nights I don't usually do that because I'm here. But she was throwing a fit. We had to postpone starting to record because I had to go do the daddy put
duties.
Down.
Yeah, daddy duties.
Just
They're
give
not
me
just
the warm
for
and
toilets.
fuzzies.
Yeah, okay. Cool. Okay, before we get started, let's see here. Who's going to be doing it today? Njord, what do we got to do first before we get started to our main topic?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, come one, come all. Today, we've got to keep up with what is in your cup. cup.
I love
So, Mr. Sensei Jon, what is in your cup?
Well, thank you for asking, your God. Today I got a lovely mix. This is crazy because somebody was just talking about these at the JOB, and yeah, this is my mixer tonight. So I'm still drinking on the same thing. Ain't nothing changed. Tommy Chain say what? Same thing. Same thing. That's what we say at Domino's.
Casamigos.
Casamigos. We're gonna do the same thing. Oh, but my mixer tonight, a little apple flavor. I don't even know how to say this. Y'all go ahead and take a look.
What is that?
You
Juaritos?
know what I mean?
It's Citron Mundet.
Yeah. Little apple flavor, sparkling apple.
Okay. You getting classy
Tastes pretty
tonight.
good.
Sparkling.
Yeah, glass bottle. I had to go get a whole little maneuver over here. You know what I mean?
Man.
Dude, my sandals have one of those in them.
Right, I'm gonna say you gotta stay with my wallet has a bottle opener on it. So
Yeah, my keys got one on it, but shit, I ain't got them up here. So this is what I'm working with. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's me today, man. Keeping it simple, keeping it classic, keeping it real.
All right. Little Matthew McConaughey there for you. Mr. Sean Flac, what is in your cup?
what is in my cup? It's the black can today, right? But the black can is just some what is it? Zero sugar cherry Pepsi. That's what I'm drinking on tonight. Wild cherry. So it's just not no regular.
Oh,
Zero
it's the
sugar.
Wild Wild West.
Zero sugar.
Hey, does it really taste unsweetened? Or
No.
give us a little.
No, I drink diet drinks, so it's I know it doesn't taste like the regular kind because the regular kind, it has but this I gotten so used to it I couldn't even tell you the difference.
Regular kind got a little bite to it.
Oh yeah, make you burp and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Bad business.
All right. Let's go to the next. Mr. Krinlee, what is in your cup?
Same name, different flavor. I got the Voodoo Ranger. Tropical Force.
I thought I said Tropic
Force.
Thunder for a second.
No. Yeah.
What's that? What is that little looks like a shark or I don't know what is that on
It's
top
a skeleton wearing like a. Yeah, it looks like a shark, I guess. The helmet does.
of? Oh, okay.
No,
okay.
did he?
Yeah, it's his helmet. It's a skeleton wearing like a old fighter jet helmet.
Nice.
All
right.
What is it? Come on, give us a sample of. Give us amuse our imaginations. What flavor? Tropical thunder. But what is that?
It's Tropic.
It's an IPA.
It's not Tropic Thunder.
Tropic Thunder. Tropic Force.
What
It's
does
like I
end
got the
taste
fruit
like?
force. It's
Oh, did he? What does the end taste like?
sweat and tears. Oh no, but it's got like a fruity aftertaste, but it's good.
Okay. Well, fruity.
It's an IPA for sure.
Very nice.
Oh.
Very nice.
Okay.
Last season, ladies and gentlemen, we were running a promotion on if you could guess in the comments what Sensei Jon's drink was. We would shout you out live on stream. We'd have a stream recording, whatever you want to call it.
I have an update on that last one, but go ahead.
Okay. And no one got it, but we mentioned that we were going to do that for me this season.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to reveal what is usually in my cup. If you want to know what is in my cup, go watch most of last season. If not all, shoot, just do them all.
Yes, do them
But
all.
today, no Diddy.
Oh God.
Yeah.
But today, I've got pineapple coconut bubbly.
That looks delicious. What is that? Target? That's Target, right? Bubbly? Is that the brand?
bubbly.
Yeah. You get it from Target.
Bubbly is like a name brand. You
Yeah.
can get it at Walmart, Target, anywhere.
Oh, I thought it was a Target only thing. No, I like
It's
bubbly.
not Target. It's not
we pretty
Target.
much-
It's Target.
Target.
Here we go.
I thought we were the only family that did that.
Welcome to the club.
Right.
But yes, so again, normally I do have some kind of alcohol, liquor, in my cup, but not tonight. But if you guess what is usually my liquor, I will shout you out with a cool voice. We will put you in the credits, whatever we got to do to get you guys drawn in. So with that, Mr. Sean Flac said he had an update.
Yeah, it had an update. Actually, my wife, she commented on, I want to say episode number 7 about what was in the cup. So she just picked the episode and then she put like Casamigos, boom, we're done or something like that. So we got to give her a good shout out.
Okay, wifey, right on, Mill.
All right, what is wifey's stage name or whatever?
We're going to call her the Moody Mermaid. The Moody Mermaid.
I like that.
So in
Episode 7 of Season 4, the Moody Mermaid came through our comments and guessed correctly Sensei Jon's drink. Shout out to you, Moody Mermaid.
Go ahead and give her the horn. She's a Taurus too. That was excellent.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, cool. So again, this season, guys, we're going to be going with what is in Njord God's cup. If you're interested, again, like you said, a good idea is just to check all the episodes out. Leave comments, let us know what you think, and of course, if you do guess what is in his cup, we're going to give you that good old shout out right here live on stream. Okay, so without further ado,
hey, the Moody Mermaid is a dope. That's a dope name, and she dope. You know why? Because I'm a Taurus too. So shout out to her.
Okay. So let's get started. Again, this was something that, on the podcast, we always want to go back to, dads and our dads, and talking about people, that meant something to us. And so this one was a topic that was early on suggested, but again, we want to kind of get back into it, for season number 5. And today's topic, we're going to be talking about father figures that, we're not our actual fathers, and it could be anybody. So as you guys hear and listen to our stories, I guys want you to think about who was that person in your life if you had one. And it could be, in some of the cases where I live, it sometimes is mom. So don't be, embarrassed or, think that that's an indifferent kind of connotation to look at that. But if they're, hey, Diddy, bro. I'm sorry. I might have to edit that out. I might not. But again,
started slipping. Sorry.
So again, as you hear,
yes, he did.
Who we who we bring to the episode and kind of who is that person in your life? Go ahead and leave comments in the description or in the comment section below about who was your father figure that wasn't your father. So I know I brought this one up. I probably want to go last on this one. If you guys want to kind of take it away, and we'll again see where we.
Hey, why you get to go last?
Because I might have to take up most of the show. You know what I'm saying? It just depends on how fast or how long y'all talk.
Okay. All right, who's gonna go first? Who's gonna go first?
You know what? Dog should always go first from here on out.
All right, because I'm probably gonna take the least amount of time anyway. So.
I don't know. I might have you beat, dog. I don't know.
All right, Krinlee, what you got for us?
I was thinking about it, and at first I was thinking, of course, my grandfather, my father's father. Because, looking back through, my dad was just like him, and I'm just like both of them. But I got to think about it more, and I was thinking about my stepmother's father. And how much inspiration I kind of got from him. More so as a father and a husband than, anything else, honestly. Because that's really the only part of him I ever got to see. Whenever my dad and stepmother first got married, it was he wasn't really there much. He worked second shift, so I was mostly there from after school till my parents picked me up at night. And eventually he retired, and then he was home more often, and I got to see him. And because him and my grandmother were married for the how the old folks were. They were married for life. ages. But I mean, they were true to each other to the end, and like it was the perfect, I guess, the portrait marriage or whatever. Like their lives weren't always perfect, but they did the best that they could for each other and their family, and I saw that a lot in the way he acted, not just towards them, but about himself, And all right, so one of the things I remember that obviously you could tell by looking at me, I didn't pick up this trait from him, but he was telling me how he always he adapted this from being in the Army, and he carried it on after that too. But it's like whenever he would go from point A to point B, like at home, doing work around the house and stuff, he would run whatever he was doing. If he was going from one place to another, he would run. Just because it was faster, and you get there, and then you do it. He was all about just getting it done, and obviously, I didn't pick up that trait neither. So, but he was an inspiration nonetheless.
Okay, all right.
That was my father figure.
Okay.
So let me ask you one question.
Yes, sir.
That was like one of the fondest memories that you have of him.
I mean, just that and just stuff I learned from him because he was real handy with his hands. Like they like to build stuff. Like they were growing up, they were farmers. That was what they did. Like they had a farm. That's how they made their living. They got up in the morning, milked the cows, and all that before going to school. And they kind of instilled a lot of those ideas on me. But obviously things were different when I was younger and growing up with them than it was when they were young. But a lot of the ideas, the ways of thinking that they used in those times, they kind of passed on through me.
Okay.
Very nice.
That's good. Hey, you ever did any picking of the peas or anything else like that with him?
I never really did any of the gardening stuff with them. For me, it was mostly cutting grass because they had a huge yard with a bunch of trees and
Hey, did
blackberries.
You ever use
I did blackberries.
Okay. When you had to pick those from the
bush,
bush or whatever. Yeah. So did you ever, how the hell did you if they had so much freaking how did you use lawnmower? Were you sitting on it? Were you behind it?
They had a riding mower because they were one of those. They were good with their money. Like they didn't buy anything they didn't need, but they had money for what they did need. So they had the riding mower.
Yeah, the riding mower, huh? Yeah, I always wanted to sit on. I always wanted enough land to be able to, sit on one of those. I couldn't do that in my backyard. I'd be done in 2 swipes.
Yeah, it was called a Boland's, and every time you would turn it off, when you were done, pow! It never failed.
Sure.
Backfire. Huh?
It pow, and they go Boland's.
I'm happy.
Yeah, that's what's up.
I'm gonna tell you right now, the lawnmower I was using when I was growing up, I was literally pushing that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, yeah.
It didn't have no motor or nothing. Like it was the blade spinning. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't.
You better hope your yard was flat.
Right. That's how I got down.
That's mean, That's mean.
Yeah, it's most definitely. In mine, I had a little Cadillac. They called my mom used to call it the Cadillac. Yeah, I didn't have it as bad as you did, Sean. But I started up. That thing.
That.
And that motherfucker, I had the little handle up button, so you go clip, and that motherfucker go.
Well, it was self-propelled. Oh man, you was blessed.
Yeah.
See, my grandparents had one of those, but I didn't when I was a kid.
Sean.
I had to push that son of a bitch. But the blades did turn themselves.
Okay, all right. Homestead and Grandpapa.
You said the blades did turn themselves?
Krinlee, he was talking to you.
I'm talking about yours.
Oh, yeah. I didn't have to push nothing. Oh, yeah, my bad. Yeah. At least they turned themselves.
Yeah. Well, I mean, mine did too.
John Flac was out there building muscle
Yeah.
while he was
Yeah, right.
mowing lawns.
Right. That's how I was doing it. You know, and then we had to pick up when we had to rake up all the grass afterwards too. So you know.
Oh no, I had a bag,
Yeah,
baby.
you see, nah, we didn't have none of that. You know what I'm saying? Y'all was privileged. Okay.
Yeah, a little bit.
I mean, we had the bag, but we had to make sure we put that shit around the plants and around the trees. Like, it wasn't just dumping it.
Oh, you reuse it.
Oh, yeah. In my grandparents' yard, yeah. The parts that I would have to push mow, I would have a bag and I would dump all the dead grass around the plants, flowers and stuff they had.
You ever had to milk a cow or a goat?
No, they didn't have all that when I was there. That was when they were younger.
What about chickens? Did they have chickens?
No, they had corn for a while. They had a small like vegetable garden when I was with them, but
Okay, that's cool, man.
Okay. Okay, who would like to go next?
You're the guy. Is your mouth full of chocolate, little bitty?
yeah, I was gonna say he's a little
He's a
busy over there.
What's on your plate, Njord?
What's in that Tupperware?
So I said my family went to a Cheesecake Factory in Memphis. I've got cheesecake from Cheesecake Factory.
Oh, okay. That's what that brown shit is. I just
Oh God, and it's so good too.
I know it is, man. We had a little potluck at the job today, man. This lady made some chocolate cake. It's so delicious.
See, I should have came. I shouldn't have.
You should have came.
Now, you know what? I'm gonna tell you right now, the worst day away from the job is always gonna be better than the best day at the job. So
Yeah, I guess.
yeah, I'm sad. Okay.
Well, while Njord fills his mouth,
His gullet.
I guess I'll go next. So I was torn on this question because I've always been around strong black men, strong men, period. But I've always been around older men, and I have a few. I got a couple of little stories. Everybody's has like a little place. So, when I was growing up, my dad was always my dad. Boom. My grandfather. My grandfather was my grandfather was always like, let me see, stern, very stoic. So he was a great figure in my life, which was great. Then, I have what else? Is he muted?
I don't know.
It's kind of confusing.
John, you're throwing us off, dude.
Yeah, he throwing me off, dog, because he talking. He got to edit this out.
What, I'm throwing you off.
Yeah, you are.
You can see you just sit there like.
Don't worry about me.
Okay, so you have to edit this part out. Sorry.
Okay, yeah, go ahead. My bad. I'm still gonna be talking though, but
No,
Timestamp it.
do your thing. At least we
Okay.
know you ain't going over tangent.
oh yeah, no, not going on a tangent.
I'm gonna start over. So my grandfather was one of the big factors in my life. He's very stoic, very really hard. I remember one time. I'm gonna give you a quick story. I was like 15, so I was a little older, and I was watching cartoons, and he was like, when you gonna start watching cartoons? I swear from that day I stopped watching cartoons. He just like knew exactly what to ask me. It's funny. But I have a bunch of figures in my life. Let's say just men. Because I always gravitated towards older people. So my boy, well, I say my boy, but he was actually like my boss back in the day when I used to work in high school, and then a little after high school where I worked at like the Air Force Base. And he actually came to my graduation. He was in the military, you know what I mean? But he was like really cool and really like personable as a boss, as a manager. So it was like um really cool to be like me and him hang out after work, we talk, because he always like took a liking to me and me and my other friend, who is now, I think he lives in Texas. But yeah, we would
God
just sit
bless
down,
Texas.
talk. Huh?
I said, God bless Texas.
Yeah. God bless them. So, you know, it was really cool because, like, let me see, like, during that time when I graduated, my dad was over in Iraq. And he actually, like I said, the guy, I won't mention his name, but he actually just like showed up to my graduation, and he came over, for some fiddles. Is that how you say it? Vittles after the excuse
For
me,
some
after the
vittles. Yes.
some vittles. I had to go. Vittles after the graduation. So my mom got a chance to meet him, and it was really cool. So he was one figure, and it's always been like different type of male figures in my life that is always kind of like gave me some game, you know what I mean, to go to the next, you know, level. I would say just to boost my horizon and my knowledge of becoming a young man and a young black man too. At that, um, my dad's friend when my dad was in Iraq as well, But even before then, it was always like him and I. Whenever we talked, it was like, he'd give me some different type of game or a different type of understanding in life. Especially even when my dad was around. That's where I got that. Wherever you are, that's where it's happening. It don't matter where you at. Nobody else is at, but where you are, that's where it's going down. So, um, shout out to him. Um, he's up there in heaven, looking down upon us. Uh, I also like. It's funny because I would always meet these type of people, like at my jobs. Oh wait, no, I got another one. My best friend. Shout out to my boy Ron. Uh, his dad. We lived up the street from each other, and one of the things it will always stick with me. One of the things he always said, uh, he said, "Hey, y'all better not fuck up y'all credit." That was one of the things he always used to say to us. He's like, "It take a long time for your credit to come back." You know what I mean? So he would give us like different life lessons and different things. A hardworking man. He works for the company across the bay. You know what I mean, Sean? The other one that we not rival, but
Right. Yeah, we coincide with each other.
there you go.
Right.
And he was always like, giving us little tidbits, little things. And I think he's gonna be retiring here soon. So shout out to him. You know who you are if you watch this Dad's Life podcast. Uh, Let me see. For me, it was just like a plethora of people that really like always was in my ear, or because they seen, I guess they seen the like way I carry myself as a young man, as well as the maturity that I had as a young man. So um I'll never forget one of my friends who I actually RIP to him. He's from Richmond, and he was like possibly like 10 years older than me, but he showed me like a different side, like a street side. You know what I mean? Of some different things. He gave me some knowledge about the streets, and when I was real young, you know what I mean, working this other job I had when I was like 18. And me and him used to, we used to have fun, chill out. We worked at the same place for a while. And he just, had like a soft spot in my heart because we didn't come from the same place, type of family or whatever, but he still introduced me to his family. His family was great. You know what I mean? His sisters and brothers, they was always cool, always like welcoming, but they was from the streets. So I got a little game in my life to be able to maneuver through these streets, wherever I'm at. I can adapt to anything. That's just who I am. But yeah, let me see. Do I got one more? I think that's pretty much it. So me is a plethora of people because I always like to gain knowledge from everywhere else. I don't have any like set figures in my life. It's always who will give me something or who can give me some game or some knowledge that I can pass on to generations, like my kids, or be able to work in my life. I like to work things, give me some knowledge, I go check it out, research the knowledge, and I go use the knowledge. That's just me. So yeah, shout out to all of them. If I forgot anybody, please don't hold me hostage. But those were significant people in my life. I know I didn't mention any names, but you know who you are. Thank you.
That's a beautiful thing right there. Man, oh, here we go, huh? Those are some great people and some great stories and stuff like that. New Order, were you ready to start? Okay, all right.
Yeah,
Whatever take it away, player.
So I've got, since apparently we're doing multiple, I've got two. And I won't go past that, I promise. The first one's going to be my grandfather. I was actually named after him. He was a senior as well as my uncle. He was a junior.
Your grandpa was named your god? That's amazing.
Yeah, he was Njordgod Senior. And if it weren't for my last name, I'd be the third type deal. But yeah, I mean that man saw so much during his life and had a crud ton of wisdom to kind of pass on. Like you all, my family's military. My grandfather retired from the Navy as a chief, and then he served through Vietnam. After he got out of the military, he was still a civilian contractor with the Navy. And then he became a pastor, which was, if you talk to any of the people that were under his command when he was in the Navy, they never would have thought that in a million years. His nickname used to be Little Hitler. Guys, I'm 5'5" and I was taller than my grandfather. Okay,
Wow.
he was a mean
Hitler.
cuss.
Son of a gun.
Oh man, there are stories that he would tell me like as to why. So when you're deployed on a ship, you still have to do like when you come back from leave. You get a Liberty Pass from the ship and all that, right? You still have to do inspections on the flight deck. Well, apparently there was this like 6'3" black guy who showed up during inspection one time with an earring during inspection.
That's a big no.
My grandfather looked at him and goes, "Listen here, what does military regs say?" And he goes, "I can't have an earring." And he said, "All right, don't let me catch it on this deck again, or I'll pull it out." Guy goes, okay, cool. About a week and a half later, my grandfather does another inspection, right? There's the dude with the earring again. My grandfather didn't say one word and just reached up and ripped that earring right out of the ear.
Yikes.
Apparently
Oh,
that
that
guy
hurt.
took my grandfather to the captain and was like, kind of crying about it all. And, the captain looks at him and goes, what does military dress code say? Can you have that? No, I can't. Well, get the hell out of my, get the hell off my bridge, And turns to my grandfather and goes, could you not? Right? I mean, and then like to go from that, like my mom used to tell me stories that she never got spanked or whipped or anything like that because he just had a look that made her pee her pants. So from going from that to being a pastor, right? Just a complete 180 change.
I don't know.
That's
And-
love.
Yeah. And the things that I would do growing up, my mom would sit here and be like, are you kidding me? I would have got whipped 3 sides left of Sunday if I did that. And you're like, oh, he's so cute.
Yep.
My grandfather drove to Virginia during my parents' divorce to pick up my mom and I and drove me back. Drove us both back. I was like 3 years old, so obviously that was not a fun car ride because I know what it's like with a 2-year-old. All the way back to San Diego where I was then raised, and he and my grandmother were a big part of my life all the way through. When he turned 50, he had a double bypass open heart surgery. And my mom, we actually cut our pool in half, like the shallow end of our pool in half, and we built an entire 2-story like addition that was its own house. I'm talking like 3-bedroom, full kitchen, laundry room, all of that. That way they can move in and we could keep eyes on my grandfather, but growing up, I remember I knew exactly when our nap times were because when Matlock and Murder She Wrote were off the TV, so it would go Murder She Wrote and then Matlock, and then it was time for nap. Like that's just how it was. My sister was the same way. We always knew after Matlock, time to go to bed. Oh, and Monk as well.
How old were you when Monk was out? 'Cause I remember
Right?
watching that show as like
I know.
almost like an adult, almost though.
I'm 33.
Yeah, you
Like-
little baby, baby of the group.
But it's just one of those things, looking back at it all, when he would watch us, he would take me to the church with him so he could study or clean up or do all of this, that, and the other. And just the life lessons that he would kind of guide me through, being able to see kind of the both sides of, I guess, the world, right? Kind of going from one in the Navy, being mean, seeing how cruel the world can be, to being a pastor and seeing God's love and all of that, being able to see and teach how mean and cruel this world can be and help prepare, It had some of its downsides being a pastor's grandson, though, right? Like, I wrestled throughout high school, and if we had a wrestling match on a Wednesday, guess who couldn't be there for the entire thing? And hope to God that I was able to. My weight class was called up before I had to leave to go to church. But eventually, obviously, like all people do, it's guaranteed we're gonna die. And he started taking a turn for the worst. He wasn't able to get up his 2-story house anymore, even with the stair lift to get to his bedroom. So we sold our house in California and we moved to Northeast Tennessee. Kind of get him out in the countryside, let him see everything, and he loved it, absolutely loved it. But unfortunately, and when we got to Tennessee, though, is when we were able to start applying for him for VA benefits, and he was awarded a full 100% disability from his service because he was a diesel mechanic on the ships, and his ships carried Agent Orange, so he has a lot of that. He had a lot of those issues that's affiliated with it. Um, Soon after we got to Tennessee, he tripped, fell, and he broke his hip, and that was kind of the beginning of the downfall. And then he got better. He was walking around again. He fell out of bed one night and broke his other hip. And from then on out, it was just him in a wheelchair, right? And one of my favorite memories though is like the Christmas before he passed. So he passed in May of 2021. I got Christmas recorded that previous Christmas. So December of 2020, I have that recorded and on videos. And just being able to see him light up and have all that was awesome. I can't sit here and think of any of the individual lessons that he taught me just because everything that he taught me was just so invaluable. I mean, he lived with me for ages, right? So it's just everything. And he's missed. He's greatly missed. My next person, this will be a little bit shorter because she was only involved during my high school years, was my theater teacher. She was awesome. She does theater, so Miss White, she has no problem being named. I know that for a fact. This woman was also my U.S. history teacher, and probably the only reason I graduated high school, if I'm being honest. I was just sitting here talking with my wife, and I was like, "Yeah, she signed me out of math class all the time, as well as English class. I have no idea. I know for a fact there are projects I never turned in, and somehow I still passed.
Hey,
No clue, no clue.
no clue.
But she became an integral part of my family as well. I mean, she became a second, I guess, mom. I even gave her an award for it, world's greatest second mom. And the work ethic that she had, the joy that brought her, creating these productions and helping kids realize and get to be better potentials and all of that is just invaluable. And being able to see that, she also made learning fun, right? I mean, it was easy for me because I'm a U.S. history nerd. I love U.S. history, so I excelled in that class. But like, she would do full on like skits for different things, like have the kids participate in U.S. history who have nothing to do with theater, like participate in different skits of the Abraham Lincoln's fourscore, address, all of that. Have kids dress up as Abraham Lincoln and actually present it. It was a lot of fun. She came to my graduation. She came to the after party for my graduation as well, with my family, like the dinner that you all have, that you hand out the gifts and you ask for the money, and it's awesome.
The after party.
Yeah, the after party. I remember we went to Ruby's. We went to Ruby's for that party down on the pier in Huntington Beach. It was awesome. Love that one.
Ruby's.
Yes. And then she's met my daughter when I've flown back to California. She's met my wife. I mean, she's still a part of my life to this day. And just watching everything that she's still doing. She's not at the same school anymore. She went to a different school. But yeah, Miss White, she's awesome and always have a special place in my heart. So shout out to her. Shout out to Gramps.
That's what's up.
Okay.
Funny, I had a teacher in middle school. Her name was Miss White. She also taught me sign language. That's cool.
Heck yeah.
Shout out to teachers in general, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
they don't make enough, man.
Yeah.
Pay them teachers. Shit.
I'm telling you. Okay. Well, thank you for sharing those. So for me, there was I grew up in East Oakland, and I'm not gonna name no names, but they know who they will, because I gotta shout out to them.
Oh boy.
You know what I'm saying, and let them know what the good word is. But So my dad, he did body work. He worked on cars in East Oakland, and he had a he had a place, and some of his business associates. I consider them my godfathers. They watched me grow up and stuff like that. The one in particular that comes to my mind, and he passed away a couple years ago, and yeah, it's kind of hard to say it without saying any names. So I'm gonna try to, but not only what brought this to me was he was there for me when I was just becoming a dad. And my dad, he moved out of state, and I'm trying to sit here and make it on my own 2 feet, just have my son. And as I was growing up, like his business associate worked at a warehouse. When warehousing, they did warehousing logistics, and this is before I had my son. But I was looking for a job. I just got done with working at McDonald's, and he was like, hey, if you're looking for a job, I could get one for you working at this warehouse. So I'm the young OG or whatever, trying to make ends meet, trying to get up on my own 2 feet. And so McDonald's was no longer cutting it after high school, so I took on that job, and then I went to go work for Walmart. But come to find out that basically any young man that needed a job, it's warehouse work. So it's forklifts and slanging boxes. We actually did furniture. We were like a furniture cross dock. People would order furniture or mattresses or whatever, and they would go from some place, and we'd have to move them from truck to unload the truck, load the truck, unload the truck, load the truck. Big furniture. So it was tough job. We got paid weekly, but it paid way more than the McDonald's job. And so, I was able to, but, he helped everybody. Like, hey, one of the young cousins or something like that, the young brothers from the hood or whatever, hey, man, if you want to work, it's not easy work, but I can get you work at the warehouse, whatever. And this was one of my dad's associates. And, like one of his business associates. So there was that. Like, he just was there when I was just trying to get my feet on the door, get my feet under me. And he had always been there, no matter what. For me, my sister, and I want to say, I don't know if I want to say there's like some kind of falling out, but there was like we hadn't talked in years or whatever, and I just had my son, and didn't have no car, no nothing. And what they did was they had a used car sales. Like that's my dad worked on cars, and he was an associate with them. They sold used cars, and we're talking, and he was, I did everything I could. Like I borrowed cars, I was on the bus, I was on the train, getting my son around. He was a newborn baby, so I'm just doing what I can with the little jobs that I had. And, I want to say I reached out to him and kind of told him my situation, like, hey, can I get a car from you, whatever. But, again, I'm new dad, not having no money or nothing like that. And we hadn't talked in years, and there was like a falling out. But he, was on the phone. He said, "Look," he said, "you go to the lot. You can pick any car you want. Any car."
Let me get a scraper.
Right. Oh yeah. I mean, that's what they were. There wasn't like no BMW, but he was like, any car that I have, you can get. You could come get. Obviously signed the contracts. He said, don't worry about no down payment. Don't worry about, just pay what you can every month. And, I was so grateful, because again, I'm trying to do the right thing, but it's starting to rain, and having my newborn son on, the bus and the train, and, like a friend of mine, she had gave me a car seat, but I didn't have no car to put it in. You know what I'm saying? So I was like embarrassed, but so, and then, like I said, we had a falling out. And so he was just like, man, don't even trip. Like, that's water under the bridge. Whatever car I have on there, just sign up the paperwork, pay what you can pay. And I made sure that I paid every time I got paid, I put a little money on it until I finally paid the car off. What I ended up picking was a 98 Cavalier. You know what I'm saying? 98 Chevy Cavalier. It was a little red car. It had a stick shift. So, it had sat on the lot for a little bit. So I wasn't like, oh, let me get the most expensive car on the lot. Let me, and I paid him off, and, every time I'd go there. But I mean, big shout out to him because, when I didn't have it at all, he had been in my life, just in association with my dad. But they were always helping people out. They were always having people, and yeah, I can't thank them enough. And then especially, I didn't know what I was doing with a kid. I just knew I had to continue to do what I was supposed to do, and
Take care.
yeah. And he just was like, "Look, you can have anything on the lot. I don't, I get it. You young, you know what I'm saying? You're trying to do the best thing with your kid. You don't want your kid in the rain, and you don't want them on the bus and the train. Come to, and if you pay me, cool. And if you don't, I don't care. That's the feeling I got. Like he was like, don't
Yeah.
even trip. But I made sure my little 200 every month until I got it paid off.
Hey.
And then my other godfather, you know, he had a lot of, he had a lot of game too, but because they both ran the spot together, and I would never get to see the godfather that sold me the car. I always saw the other godfather, and
He ran like 6 and 8.
right.
And running mate.
And so, I'd pay him, so every month I come through, I'd pay, whatever. And then finally I paid it off, and he was like, "Oh, you made all your payments." And I
Ooh-wee.
I said, I made sure, I can't even show how much gratefulness I have with that. And with that car, I gave it to somebody, because it was damn near given to me, damn near. Right. So, but when I got it paid off, I gave it to a friend that, that needed it. I was like trying to pay it forward. You know what I'm saying? Because I was, got a better job, was able to get more on my feet. But if I didn't have the opportunity to have that vehicle so I could kind of get around where I needed to be, I wouldn't have been able to get the job that I got. And so that when this came, he was the first person that came to my mind when it came to this. And I made sure when I got married, me and the wife been together for like 12 years. My wife, I made sure that they came, right? And I want to say they was, but it was interesting because what I'll do is I'll go ahead and post a picture up. I'll try to get it up on post so you guys can see. But my father and both of them, I wanted to make sure they both came. But my two godfathers both came to my wedding, and got a great picture of them. And they're like, "Who are these two brothers?" You know what I'm saying? like I'm Asian, Filipino, Chamorro. My wife is, she's like white and white and Japanese, and so like who are what I'm saying? Who are these folks? And
Hey, who's this black man up in here?
but I had to make sure that and I love him for it. And I'm, as a matter of fact, like I said, the one he passed away, and I think after this episode, I need to reach out to my other godfather and tell him, how much I appreciate and how much I love him.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, but I mean that's like I said, I felt it like me being a dad and trying to do the right thing, and they were there for me, both of them. Both of them just tried to give me the best advice that they could, and I couldn't have made some of the moves I did, and without their help, number one, and then of course that whole thing about the whole car thing, that's why I'm kind of like I'm giving. I like to give because man, that changed my life.
It did.
Yeah, so
I see it. I feel it.
yeah, so,
Yeah, I know. Nah, your story that was a good one, dog. Like, man, I can shout out to them, man. They help propel the man we see today.
yeah, man. Like I said, I have like I said,
Sean is very giving and very loving.
you
know what I mean?
Man. So
Black 2.0, man. Like, comment, and subscribe to that boy channel, man. You know what I mean? That's my karate partner. You know what I mean? Whoop your ass if you see us in the streets. I'm just saying. It's a 1-2 combo. Nah.
So
Go ahead.
That's basically it. Thank you guys for sharing. Who those people were in your life. For the listeners, definitely, think about that. Who in your life inspired you, other than just your dad. And the teachers, our mentors, and again, put that down in the comments below. Maybe somebody that mentored you, that inspired you to do more. I mean, dads is dads. I get it, but in today's society, we're trying to do the best we can, and some of us can't. And so, for those folks that have stepped up to help mold you or help mold us, shout out to all of them, and then whoever they may be. That's all I basically got. That's basically all the time we got left for the recording on this episode. So I just want to make sure. I might have to edit this out because I'm kind of lost to where we go from here.
But anybody got any last shout outs to the, father figures, or anybody got like anything they want to say?
I want to,
come on, fill us in.
I want to go ahead and shout out these two gentlemen on the bottom here, Mr. Sean Flac and Sensei Jon, because, me and your God were kind of different coming into being fathers than they were. Like, I want to say we were kind of lucky. I mean, they had the struggle was real down there with those guys, and they persevered, and here they are today.
The struggle was real down here, dog.
Right. So if you go back to the last season and watch the first 2 episodes, you'll hear all about that.
Yeah. Oh my God.
No, thank you, Mr. Krinlee.
Krinlee, we thought we had struggles in our own life, and then we heard their struggles. We're like, oh shit,
right,
good.
Right.
You motherfucker fucked up, but you know what I mean? No.
Nah.
Hey, no. I know that's big, dog. I appreciate that, man. That's
Krinlee,
I've got one more person real quick, and I'm gonna make this quick.
Okay.
Make this quick.
Sean, you're a father figure to me. Being
Bro.
straight up. No, hold on. Okay,
Come on.
being real. Okay, for the last 3 going on 4 years, right? You've been that voice in my head of calm, collect, cool, and navigating a lot of waters, right? And that is what a father figure does, right? You've been there. You helped guide me in different ways when we were running SPG, and you've always been there. I know that I've always been able to call you up if I've been struggling with something, and you would talk to me about it and work through it with me. So yeah, don't sell yourself short on that, and don't take nothing like the wrong way. But like, dude, you've been a father figure to me for the last 3 going on 4 years. So shout out to you.
2.0, man.
I appreciate you on that. I appreciate you.
Hey, hold on.
Okay, so again, this is going to be the end of this episode here. But we are going to remind you guys that we are doing our Patreon recording after the show. So if you're interested in that, you could check out some of the free episode stuff that we have on our Patreon page. So shout out to all the patrons. If you are not a patron,
Shit's gonna be lit.
It's the after the party, you know what I mean? Ain't no Diddy.
you can head over to shadowpackwest.com. You can head over there and get all of our contact information. You go into the pack tab. All of us are up there with our little mini bios with all of our contact information and contact icons. You can shout us out on X. You can shout us out on Instagram. We're on the different socials, and if you head over there, you'll get all of our contact information there. Also, while you're there, you can sign up for our patronage page. There's a link right there. It'll take you straight to the Patreon where you can sign up for your patronage. This is $1 a month. And we want to say thank you for listening to this week's episode, and we'll talk to you guys in the next episode of the Dad's Life podcast, where you can get your
Dad life.
Dad life.
Dad
Advice.
It is what it is. I'm just saying now.
We're never gonna get it.
Nah, we're not.